feels like something I was just dropped into. I didn't choose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's laugh in general.
You start a video game, you choose like easy or whatever, how many bots you want or what's going to go on. There's no
laugh
like, intro to laugh. Yeah, you just get dropped into something that someone 300 years ago chose, and then they're like, "This is how we do it."
Yeah.
What do you mean, dude?
But that's
and people don't want to change because they're locked into that program of. But this is what we got to be doing. That's the only reason we're still doing it.
The thing is, we often all play the blame game for things that a lot of us weren't even there for.
Yeah, but don't you think
the thing is, all of these tensions between these things, and also like inherent or not inherent, but like things we grew up with, like random stereotypes and this like that, like because of all of these things, it's slowed us down a lot.
I think despite every stereotype, you could, and I like to consider myself a mediator. You could talk to anyone and offer them the opportunity to pull out of this conventional normal lifestyle and become part of a lifestyle where you can still push for even the better construct of a human society, like what could we possibly achieve as humans, but in a good way, not like we've got to consume and the bullshit way, because we're thinking outside of the box, and still have a free society where there's a roof over everyone's head, chow for everyone, and the opportunity to become a better race. But there's people that are stuck.
Well, like a human race, not just a.
Not just us, dude. Like, I mean, there is definitely a means of us being able to cohabitate with everything that's still on our planet.
Yeah.
But better.
That's the thing, is if we weren't so greedy, it is possible.
It's like cumulative stuff.
Like we've spoken about before.
Wants more.
This is a little bit horrifying for like anyone listening. But like, well, it's not horrifying, it's just fucked up to think about. Like, there is stockpiles of food being shopping malls and shops. Tons and tons. But outside there's a guy starving.
100%.
That's fucked.
There's a guy sleeping in the begging for change, just trying to scrape by.
Yeah.
It's just the wild reality we live in.
Very, dude.
And that's because, unfortunately, that guy, he didn't choose it either. Like, he's living a whole other dimension of this current form of government. He's living in, no one even helps him. No one even pays attention to it.
Yeah.
So wild.
And the thing is also, like, people also, like, they don't know what to say to someone like that. So, like, often, like, when they drive past, they'll leave the window closed or something and just try and look, because they don't actually know what to say.
What do you say to someone that's...
How do you help someone?
Yeah, how do you help someone? I can't even help myself. And if you look at it, like, his problems, although they might be more than yours, you're still facing these problems of looming debt. You got to pay the car off, you got to get to work, you've got to pay the house, you've got to pay for kids' child, you got to get a kid through school.
That's the thing is,
remember that medical aid? That guy you still got to pay for, otherwise you go to the government hospital, baby.
That's the thing is, there's so much on people's plates that it's hard to even try to help someone else. It's not that they don't want to, it's just that they're just trying to get their own shit in the bag even. Like,
everyone's trying to get by, dude, but that's why I said, wouldn't you agree that given the opportunity, anyone will give up this lifestyle to be able to live a stress-free lifestyle where your only priorities of food and a house to fucking live in are covered. That's what everyone deserves, dude. Everyone deserves a place to stay. Everyone deserves good child. Everyone deserves to be alive. Those are the basic necessities of life. Everything else, it should be a product of humanity flourishing. What's happening now is definitely not, dude. This is not flourishing. This is fucked. We're going backwards.
Yeah.
Actually, not even. That's an insult on its own. I prefer we went backwards because it wouldn't be as crazy.
Yeah, primitive would actually be a better option than whatever this technological shit is.
I believe we went too far.
Yeah, I agree.
believe we overstepped the boundary where we just automated everything.
Yeah, it's the price of convenience, dude. That's also been explained many times.
Cumulative sum. I automated it so I don't have to pay employees. Now I make more money.
Yeah.
But now that guy's out of a job and he's still got to pay for child. He's still got to pay for his medical aid. He's still got a kid to put through school.
And then also when it's something like we spoke about last time, like an extremely competitive society, where there's a lack of things for people to do, but like an abundance of skills even, or even lack of skills. It's hard for anyone to try to compete in that.
Yeah.
Like, what you said last time,
It's more of a, you got to be a jack of all trades to be able to compete in the market today because everyone's doing a bit of everything. But we've also discussed previously, like being good at one thing in the past used to set you aside from just the random joke. You could be good at little bits of everything and not be capable of much. But if you were the blacksmith, you were the blacksmith.
Yeah.
You
did
weren't
that.
a builder, you weren't a farmer, you were
Nowadays,
that
you do
guy.
100 things to just survive.
You do 100 things to survive.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's where everything's headed. I don't think we'll be able to ever change that, but I think we should more or less redirect it. That we should look at more sustainable options of living, and more sustainable options of food for people, not just like GMO mass produced shit that's disease resistant, it's pest resistant because we're already spraying it with so much
You
shit.
want it to look nice on the shelf.
Chemical resistant.
Look, it looks good, but like that's the issue with aesthetics.
Well, even
like aesthetics make something look real good when it's actually not that, because it's been changed so much to aesthetically please your eye. But instead of seeing the little bruising on the fruit or the little, you want to see
that's for the consumer-based lifestyle.
Yeah.
Swing full boomerang back to the guy that we said should be employed to cut back that shit in China or Taiwan or Tokyo or I forget, it was a little while ago. So now imagine those trees weren't just like creepers and weren't just moss. Imagine we now living in a society where we're planting fruit and vegetables. In city squares and things at robots, sidewalks.
Yeah.
Imagine those people had child, that there was not even less homelessness to begin with. Let's say there was less people dying of starvation.
Yeah.
Because you're on the streets doesn't mean you're going to starve. There's food everywhere. Then there's less things to worry about. You can focus more money on sheltering the population.
Yeah.
You've covered food by just putting it everywhere. And that's natural. It's going to grow.
Well, that's the thing, is also you must somehow figure out how to like restore biodiversity in that area as well, because I've heard as well that like straight farming of just things, like let's say you have a mealie field, it's actually bad for the environment. Unless you turn it properly and resoil it and actually go through the process.
Yeah, you have to go through a tedious process to re-nutrify
without having things feeding off each other.
Yeah, but that's why most farmers also turn their crops. It's not like mealies every year in the same field. You move your mealies. 1 year it's cows. They'll come pull everything out and manure goes back down.
But that's the thing, you've got to actually take part. You've got to actually take part in that, and a lot of people are lazy.
But there's where we
so then that's
people
the thing.
Doing that as jobs, dude.
Yeah.
Well, not as jobs, but as a means of having food on the table, as a means of having a table to sit at under a roof. I think these are very menial things that we should be giving to people as a product of their work, instead of just giving someone paper and hoping they survive.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
That's hard to comprehend.
That's so wild, man.
The thing is also, like, I've heard some things about like Bitcoin or something as an option, besides the paper thing.
So then, how does that under the bridge get Bitcoin? How does he get out of this financial
besides
situation?
that, there's a whole other argument of, because it's so like unstable.
But so is money.
No, but money is extremely unstable as well. But apparently that's quite unstable. Like the way they explained it is, if you get a job for let's say $7,000 a month now, your $7,000 would pretty much cover sort of that basis, unless there's a crisis.
It would literally just be getting you by.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that much to get $7,000. Like, bills are quite fucking expensive. Yeah. But let's just say that as a random number. But your $7,000 value will still carry $7,000 somewhat. But with Bitcoin, it could go from $7,000 to 200 to 30,000. Like, they say it's way too irregular to give it to any of the population.
Certainly because you're still trading it or comparing it to a current form of currency.
Yeah.
Because there's an indifference between the two, it makes that a monetary value. So if you had to take it out of Bitcoin when it was worth more than it was, you'd be making more money, but you wouldn't have Bitcoin.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is also if you actually had a real system of counting money.
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin, where it's actually like that it would probably freak people out to know how unstable it actually is if there's not people getting involved. Like,
that's why I don't agree with it.
It's a shit show that breeds power.
It's a means of accumulating mass, and it's wrong. It's
not
right. We should all just have houses, shower.
Okay.
Well, it takes, how much of a worry does it take off of your back to know that you've got a place to stay, you've got a shower, and then from there you can focus on things like being education. Imagine being a professional in your field. It leaves you with a whole day open to teaching people interested in what you do, because you've got chow, you've got a roof over your head, you're living in a population where they want to better the race for the people. Like, you're not looking at bettering you for yourself to make ends meet. You've got ends meet. Ends meet's there. Everyone's allowed.
Start working as a tribe.
There'll be better healthcare because people will be less sickly, just in general. There won't be unhealthy people. And those few that are suffering from like diseases and medical issues will have practitioners and things that are all well trained because we'll only have well trained.
Yeah. But also even something like COVID, like if you can, like that stressed the system a lot. But if the system wasn't stressed, let's say like a medical system,
yeah,
like there would be more people being capable of looking after people, but not specifically as that, but like it could be in any form.
Yeah, it's too many.
But the thing is, there's still issues.
Too many variables to throw in because one could argue even in this form of society, that kind of thing wouldn't even have broken out. You'd be living in a place where it was regular for people to be hygienic, food was always kept clean. You weren't in a situation where, if it is correct, you had to eat the bat. Like, my man, I would feel it a lot better that everyone had chow on the table that was nutritious and healthy and didn't have to be some dirty bat for sustenance.
Yeah.
That could even be the tipping point for the virus to have kicked off. Whatever, dude.
Or the lab or whatever happened. But that's also a whole other thing.
Yeah, a whole other story.
Yeah.
But I do believe that with those bases covered, a better opportunity for humanity would be able to unfold. Because to continue this pattern is just, it's not going to happen. It's not viable. There's not enough to run this current course for very much longer without something catastrophic happening to a lot of people. And it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. No, we definitely have to sort ourselves out somehow. We can't just carry on doing the headlights. Like at some point you have to be like, okay, this is a shit show.
Oh, maybe that's what this is, man. Maybe this is the opportunity. Maybe this is where anyone hears this and it becomes a better opportunity for them, for the people around them, for humanity.
Yeah. The thing is,
small as big scale as it gets.
Like the thing is, personally for me, like I sometimes have some harsh and erratic thinking. Like it is rough, but it might be rough for someone to listen to. But I still think it is useful to assess these things.
It's also only a perspective, man. I'm not going to say I'm right at everything, but I can tell you from the things I've seen that there's a lot of things I agree with and disagree. But if you're willing to present an argument to me and you're willing to sit down and rationalize it,
have a conversation, not an argument. Yeah, have a conversation, not an argument.
I'm willing to. Maybe you've got a better reason for there to be lights and not get the potholes fixed. I want to hear it. You want to fix the lights because maybe the light that's out is in your driveway, so it's dodgy for your wife to come home in the dark. That makes fucking sense, bro.
Yeah.
So then let's fix few potholes this month and that guy's light.
Yeah.
Because it'll make a difference.
That's the thing is, there's a lot of communication involved in that thing.
100%.
Which we completely lack.
And when it's a community,
that's what it becomes. But it doesn't do the thing.